comedy. We're joined now by the entertainment journalist Shagun Oduolowu. Shagun, thoughts on Malcolm Jamal Warner?
Connell, good to be back, unfortunately, under such trying circumstances, because this is a tragedy, plain and simple. Malcolm Jamal Warner, what he represented to America, especially Black
Theo!
He was our brother. He was our son. He was the first person that I ever saw on TV that looked like me, going through the things that I was going through. Two high-achieving parents. We sat down 8 o'clock Thursday night in front of the TV and watched The Cosby Show as a family. That was one of the only shows my immigrant parents would let us watch, because my dad was a geophysicist, PhD, Dr. Huxtable, Bill Cosby on the show. He's a doctor. My mom was a therapist. Claire Huxtable, she was a lawyer. Two high-achieving parents with children, and you want them to go to college. And Theo was us. He was the kid that was struggling, wanted to find gear, and the beautiful girls. He was growing up in real time like we were. And so to see him pass away, to hear about it this morning, is to feel like you've just lost a part of your family, because we didn't watch him grow up, we grew up with him.
To some of your points about the Cosby Show's impact, we have a quote from Malcolm in an interview that he gave back in 2015, with all the scandals surrounding Bill Cosby, talking about the reputation perhaps being tarnished. My biggest concern is when it comes to the images of people of color on television and film. We've always had the Cosby Show to hold that up against, and the fact that we no longer have that, that's the thing that saddens me the most, because in a few generations, the Huxtables will have just been a fairy tale. So that, again, was Malcolm Jamal Warner himself in 2015, 10 years ago. What'd you say?
Yeah, it's so accurate, and it speaks to who Malcolm was. He's a Grammy award-winning musician. He was a poet. He was someone who was classy and defined, and the fallout from the Bill Cosby scandal tarnished the show and many people that were associated with it. But Malcolm stood tall. He led a private life. We didn't know much about his family. He wasn't really in the public eye other than when he was doing his work. And so the idea that this show that revolutionized the sitcom genre in the 80s and was the biggest show, and again, for some of our viewers that are younger, they may not understand, everybody was watching The Cosby Show, black, white, or indifferent. What they talked about and what they went through as a TV family on screen, people were glued to their sets. And so the idea that this show that meant so much to so many people, and especially people that look like me, can be kind of erased or tarnished by the acts of one, the bad acts of one person, is so unfortunate, because Malcolm was so much more than that. He was just so classy, that smile, that voice, just the look of him. For him to pass at 54, I'm not going to tell how old I am, but I will say that we aren't that far off. It's not as if he's gone away and it's like somebody that I didn't understand what I was watching when it was. Like I said, he was a teenager playing this role. You don't see that either. You don't get young kids playing young kids. It's usually an adult that's playing a young kid, like in 90210. We grew up with Malcolm Jamal Warner. Theo Huxtable was everybody's brother, and that's what America lost. They lost their brother.
And so soon, too early. 54 is way too young, especially in such a terrible, terrible way. Drowning in Costa Rica. Reaction coming in, Shagun, from a number of different places. Tracy Ellis Ross, we have a statement. We can put that up, and I'm sure there'll be reaction from so many other people. I love you, Malcolm. First, I met you as Theo with the rest of the world when you were my first TV husband. My heart's so sad. What an actor and friend you were. Warm, gentle, present, kind, thoughtful, deep, funny, elegant. You made the world a brighter place, sending so much love to your family. So sorry for this unimaginable loss. Final thoughts here, and again, and you've done a good job of this, of putting this life of this actor in such context as being more than, quote unquote, just an actor. Far more, for especially, as you say, for someone like you.
The Cosby Show served as a blueprint for a lot of the black television shows that followed. Either you were an anti-Cosby, where the humor was a little bit more risque, or you were trying to emulate the Cosby Show in your own way, like a Blackish, that was also quite successful. But Theo Huxtable, the character that Malcolm Jamal Warner played, is the blueprint for strong black men for the 80s. People my age, we grew up wanting to be Theo. Like, we watched him mature and deal with things like a learning disability on screen, which wasn't talked about on television or in the Black community for sure. Like, he was our guy. And so I want to wrap my arms around him and fans and my own brothers, because that's what it feels like. It feels like we've just lost someone that we grew up, wanting to be, watching, and trying to be living.
All right, well said all around, Shagun.